Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Chris Kiefer. We are here at the Triumph facility. Nice and quiet. Great day outside, overcast, and we'll show you the bike here in a minute, but I am on a 2026 KTM 450SX-F. We're doing a Racer X garage build step by step. I hear a lot of your emails, and they basically read, hey, what should I do to my KTM first? What would you do? So we're kind of doing a step-by-step process on what you should do to yours at home, things that I feel like are important. We went through several sets of triple clamps, linkages, suspension settings from different companies. I even got some levers. There's not a lot of fluff on this thing. We'll talk about it here in a minute, but let's take you on a couple laps here. It's a fun track. It's a smooth day. Ray did a good job. Light prep, but nonetheless, sights and sounds of the KTM 450SX-F. right, guys, 3 laps. Pretty smooth, fun. Been riding this thing a little bit of different tracks. Catch my breath here. This is the first time I actually rode a track that was super smooth on this thing. So yeah, it's I've always said KTM 450s are easy to ride. Basically confirms it here right now, because I would say out of the Cowie and the KTM, these are the easiest bikes to ride 450 wise, just with the linear power. It's difficult to maybe that'll be better. So I'm upside down, my bad. Sorry. So yeah, it's just that this is a lot easier for me to ride. And I needed from the KTM, like I said, you guys, not everyone's made of money. These things are expensive enough. So what should you do to yours is basically what we're doing at Racer X, just trying to give you guys a few tips. And for me, it's just chassis related. I don't have really that much problem with an engine on a KTM 450, besides I would like a little bit more throttle response. So that's why I use the twisted development exhaust flange. Not that much money, 200 bucks. You get more throttle response, a little bit more snap out of corners, makes it feel lighter. And then that's it to the engine. Linear, long power, still has a little bit more excitement. So maybe stage 2 will do something a little bit different in the engine. But for me, chassis needs to be calmer, a little bit less rigid. So how to do that? Try to make your bike longer. If you have a KTM 23.5, I tried X-Trig, I tried Luxon. Simply put, just too rigid for me. I tried the factory edition clamp, which is actually okay, but they don't have a 24 millimeter offset at the time, so I wanted to try something different. So I went to Ride Engineering's 23.5, and at least his clamps are a little bit softer feeling than the stock KTM 450 clamp. Not the FE clamp, the stock black clamp. That thing is pretty stiff. So this Ride Engineering 23.5 split clamp, they're not as rigid, and you're lengthening the whole wheelbase of your motorcycle, which is making this bike more planted. Then I can run 5 millimeters on my fork height, and I just get less rigidity. Today, obviously, it's just a smooth day. We did this stuff for camera, for video purposes. But when I go try Etchikani, we rode a turn track that was hard pack and edgy. There's just less rigidity with these clamps and having a longer wheelbase. So for me, that's important. Obviously, going to a rental fat bar versus the stock neck-in bar, there's some more comfort within the hands. And then I put I just get rid of lock-on grips. I just don't like lock-on grips because of rigidity. And they put an aluminum throttle tube. So some of you guys will be like, yeah, aluminum versus a plastic lock-on. How does that make sense, Kiefer? You think aluminum would be stiffer? Well, it doesn't feel as stiff as a plastic lock-on ODI, at least for me, with the Renthal half waffle soft grip. Also, the pull on an aluminum throttle tube is much better, less grainy feeling than a plastic tube. So I like the feel of that when I'm riding. Again, that's a little bit more fluff and preference. The main thing about this bike is the length, the rigidity in the clamp is a lot better, and then the linkage. So with this linkage, I can go up to a 4.8 Newton meter spring, which this bike needs anyway. I'm 185 pounds. Stock 4.5 is just too soft. And then that new Ride Engineering, the ratio of the linkage gets a little bit more progressive with that stiffer shock spring, and it brings me more comfort while raising the rear end up a little bit on acceleration. One thing I don't like about a KTM is how it feels squatted in the rear as I'm accelerating. I don't get as much of that with the heavier 4.8 shock spring and this linkage. So coming out of corners where there's hack and just crap inside of it, like just square edgy stuff, it picks that up a lot better from the swing arm pivot back. So I do enjoy that. So now I have a little bit more comfort on the KTM, a little bit more planted feel coming into the corner, and this thing still has great cornering ability. I didn't even put a 3S on this thing yet. I still left the stock tires on, just so to kind of compare it how you guys would at home. So not a whole lot of money. I mean, the most of the money with this is the clamp. And when we're talking about and comparing clamps, Ride Engineering clamp is a little less expensive than an X-Trig or a Luxon clamp. So trying to do, I don't want to say a budget build, but the best mods I can do with the least amount of money, and I think we did that here right now. Just graphics. Let me see if I can get off this thing for you. Basically, that's, I mean, it's pretty stock looking. You guys will see the Racer X video and be like, what is he doing? The thing doesn't even look like it's any mods to it. Even my suspension, it's incognito. So with the AER revalve that I tried, so I tried factory connection, I tried REP, and then I tried a spec straight from WP. So I'm on the spec from WP, which I'll be able to share the valving specs with you guys up on my website. And those valving specs can be shared with any WP authorized dealer, which is really cool. The REP stuff had better holdup, not as much comfort, and then the factory connection stuff had a little bit more comfort than the REP, but not as much holdup. I had to run more air in the fork. So right now, with this WP setup, I am at 11 bar, and I have a nice blend of comfort. The fork settles in the corner, enough lean angle traction, and then I have good enough holdup. Yes, it is still an air fork. You do have to babysit it, but in the world of comfort and performance, I'm not bitching too much about it. Usually I bitch a lot about it. Well, the past month or so, I haven't bitched too much about the air fork and didn't have to babysit it as much as I did the stock fork. As far as the shock goes, internal bladder kit changes the whole way the shock feels. Less fade, more consistent damping quality. And again, I like to bring my rear end up. So for me, all of the companies that I tried had a bladder kit, and all of them were better than stock. So if you guys are wondering, do you need a track shock? No, you don't. You just need to revalve your stock shock and put a bladder kit in there, and that'll help with fade and more consistency within your shock during the course of a moto. So again, not expensive build. Kept the stock pieces, AER fork. You guys bitch at me all the time. You guys put a spring fork on it, Kiefer. What about the air? Well, tested 3 different sets of air. This is the stuff we came up with. You can check all of that out on racerxonline.com or my website. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of a taste of what's to come here and what we're doing out here at Kiefer Inc. testing bikes. So this is just one of about 4 to 5 tracks we have within 20 to 30 minutes from the house in Georgia. So it makes for some good testing. I'm headed back to California next week to do some testing. So we'll be back there for a few weeks, and then we'll head back east again in the fall to do some more stuff. So we appreciate you coming here. Again, sorry if it's not the best production, but we try to keep it raw and real on this channel. So if it's upside down for a little while, don't bitch at me too heavy. You'll make it through your day, don't worry. Don't let this YouTube video screw up your day. Happy to help you guys out as always. That's why we built this whole thing here. We did all of this to try to help you guys shortcut what you should do to your bikes. I'm here to help that along. Chris at KieferIncTesting.com. That's my email to help you guys out, and use that as a tool to kick that door open and let everybody know that I'm here to help if you guys need it. Great bike, fun bike to ride. Sometimes I kick myself in the ass when I choose to ride different bikes than the orange bike, but 2028 or the new 2027 factory edition will have a new frame. Maybe that'll change my mind. We're going to get some more comfort, hopefully KTM. That'll be nice. And yeah, there's a lot to be said about a KTM. Reliability is good. Engine delivery is easy to use. I just need to work on that chassis, so that's what we're doing now. But hopefully KTM can do that in their production bike come 2027.5 with the factory edition, and in 2028. So that's it. That's a wrap. We'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, because most of you guys watching this do not subscribe. So see you guys later.